Rain, wonderful rain. It has been very dry up here lately, so even the slightest sprinkle makes people happy. I've mentioned, I think, that I have a 5-gallon bucket under the gutter that comes from the downhill side of the house, and it catches in the bucket under the deck. 5 gallons filled up the other day. It was 0.04 of an inch of rain, and it filled up, so I want a better way to catch more rain. And when I stayed up here in the shack, I would put a kiddie pool out on the deck, and one good rainstorm and it would be full. And that was plenty of water for bathing, washing, watering the plants, that kind of thing. Then when I went camping in the shed and I kept the kiddie pool out all the time, it was kind of wedged in under the edge of the shed. It started to draw mosquitoes. It had one time I came and it had the little mosquito larva in it swimming around, which is very disgusting. And I didn't have that when I was camping in the shack because I dumped the pool out every time I got ready to leave. That was just part of the routine. Dump the pool out, empty it out, and then set the pool out when I arrived the next time. Of course, it rained more often then, and so just about every camping trip I could catch some water. So I'm trying to devise a way that I can catch more than 5 gallons under the deck until I can afford the IBC totes or the rain storage tanks that I want that are expensive. I'm trying to figure out a way how to catch more than 5 gallons of water and not let the mosquitoes get in. So I found this bucket. It has a locking top, it's for grain, but what I like is this part. So the gutter if the gutter is just over this part and it has holes in it, it will catch the water and drop the water into the bucket. But then that doesn't help with if there's holes in the top, it doesn't help with the mosquitoes. Except that, Willie, it's empty. And Willie's got to look at everything. There might be snacks. So if there's holes in the top, that won't help so much with the mosquitoes, keeping the mosquitoes out. So I have some screen left over from a sliding glass door that was in the trash. I bought some nuts and bolts with big washers. And so my plan, with almost no building experience, is going to be to drill some holes in here, put the screen in, use the washers and the nuts, washers, and bolts to hold the screen on so the water can go in but the mosquitoes can't. And then hopefully this can sit under the gutter that's under the deck, although it means using the pickaxe to dig a hole because the space under the gutter is only big enough for a 5-gallon bucket. And this is taller than a 5-gallon bucket. I think this is supposed to be 17 gallons. They had a variety of different kinds, much larger ones. This was the smallest one, but I wanted to try it with the smaller one because they're kind of pricey. They're pretty pricey. Not as pricey as an IBC tote for sure, but I didn't want to spend too much money while I'm maybe going to ruin it. Oh, it says 12 gallons right there. So 12 gallons. So it'll be double, a little over double what that 5-gallon bucket can catch. If I can figure this out and do a real good job, maybe I won't get the IBC totes. Maybe I'll get these for catching rainwater. I don't know. I have not yet figured out how to work and film, so I will take pictures or little video clips as I go. Well, this is how it's going so far. Looks like rain in the distance, so I'm trying to hurry, but I still have a hole to dig to make it deep enough to sit down there. So I used a pie plate not pie plate, little paper plate bowl that happened to be the exact size of that indentation. So I used that to cut the screen. And then I cut little slits to make it fit over that knob. And then I thought this drill bit would be big enough for the bolts. It is not. So then I was in a panic. This is when it helps to have knowledge, because then I was in a panic and I thought I'm not going to be able to make the holes big enough for the bolts, because the bolts, I got really thick bolts. Paddle bit, I guess this is called the paddle bit, was big enough. Yay! So I drilled holes for the water to go through, and I drilled 4 big holes for the bolts. But now what I found is that because the bolt has a flat spot, the nut only goes on that deep. So it won't hold it on tight, but I think it'll, see it, there's space in there. But I think it'll do okay to make the mosquitoes stay out. So I'm going to continue on and try to hurry. I have 3 more bolts and washers and nuts to put in. And hopefully I can get it down there, and hopefully this rain comes after I'm done. Okay, here we are under the deck. Wave hi to the game cam. I forgot I had the camera there. So now I'm in on the game camera in all my glory. So I have this. The bolts aren't as tight as I would like, but there's only a little bit of looseness in there. So if I want them tight, I'll have to get bolts that don't have that flat area. If any of you know what that flat area is called, please let me know. So if I had bolts that had, whatever it is, the screw part, I used to know what that was called. Anyway, if that went all the way up the shaft instead of that flat spot, that would be tight. But I think that that's going to keep the mosquitoes out. I hope. I don't know. So my goal is to put it there. And look, I had emptied that bucket out except for a couple inches. I had used it to water some plants. We barely had a sprinkle, and it's full again. So I'm so excited about getting a bigger water container down here. So this is not huge, but it's bigger than that, double that. So if I can get a hole dug big enough to sit it under that spout, yay, I will be able to catch more rain. So you see what I have to work in, right? Pickaxe will be most of my digging. Okay, kind of installed. I say kind of because yes, it's going to catch water, but there's a problem. So good thing there's always plan B's. My drain from around my house, I don't know, is it called French drain? I forgot it was right here. So I cannot do a bigger, deeper barrel than this right at that exact location because that drain is right there. However, I got it dug in enough for the moment so I can test my experiment. I think you can hear it. It is dripping water into there from the gutter. So I'm very excited to try this. I'm a little disappointed that that drain is right there, but we'll give it a try. And this is the view from out from under my deck. Someday there will be a hammock under here. But for today, I will be able to catch more, hopefully, maybe, be able to catch more than 5 gallons of water. Now this is not my ultimate plan for my garden because, as you see, my flower bed, my tomatoes, are clear up there, up the hill. So this is mostly an experiment in can I build something that will catch water and then help me to plan long term. Maybe catch water from the shed roof once I get the shed moved. Maybe before I get the shed moved, I don't know. But yay! Here we have a larger bucket catching water that shouldn't be able to allow mosquitoes to grow. And if that's headed this way, which I think it is, which usually my rain comes from that valley. I can see it coming from my deck. But lately, storms have been coming from that direction. So if that comes this way, I'll get a good test in my water catching. Okay, more later probably. I don't know why I get so excited about catching rain, but I do. I don't know if you can hold, if I can hold still long enough that you can see it. But the clouds are moving right to left. And it's starting to sprinkle. So I'm hoping for a good heavy duty rain. Again, not flooding, not a flooding rain. Just a good rejuvenating rain. Can you hear it? It's coming from that direction maybe also. Well, it's flowing from the gutter into the bucket, so that part is working. So there's a break in the heavy rain. So while it's sprinkling, I'm nosy. I can't wait. I wanted to come down and see how it's doing. We had heavy, heavy rain, but not for long. When I go back upstairs, I'll look and see what the neighbor's weather channel station says. But it didn't rain hard long, but it rained really hard. Come down here, and it is full. I love it. So I'm going to get a clean bucket and a dipper, and I'm going to take some of this water and take it up there and drop it off in my cistern. My free water. Yay, I'm so happy. I may or may not, if I can figure out how to do this, I may or may not use rainwater to fill my cistern, and then I don't have to have it delivered. My cistern is right in that lump there. It's underground. So, if I can figure out how, I'm kind of grossed out by the thought of rainwater going straight into the cistern if it's been on the roof, because, you know, birds fly over and that kind of thing. Even though I don't drink my water from my cistern, I still don't like that thought. But this experiment is part of a way of figuring out how to get clean as rainwater can be into my cistern. So yay!